Okay, what you're saying, people, and welcome back to another live stream. Now, before we get into this, make sure you join me on my Telegram channel. I left a link to that in the live chat and also the description below. So we post a lot of different trading setups throughout the week, and you don't be missing out on that. But like I said, got another live stream. I'm going to talk you through some of the charts today, see what's going on, and also see if we've got any opportunities coming our way. So first, we'll take a look at AUD/USD. So you can see with this one, we found support again. For AUD/USD on the hourly time frame. As you can see, if I take this level across here, again, always acting as support across here, again, which gave us this move to the upside. We kind of did break below it here when we had the market open up on Monday or Sunday evening, and you can see we had this push to the downside, actually broke through it, closed back above it, and then we acted as support there again. So AUD/USD is still looking a little bit bullish as of yet on the 5-hour time frame. We do have this gap in the market here, which is going to be acting as some resistance, so potentially could be coming up to go and test that area potentially, then see us come back down, because we did have that really strong impulsive move to the downside, which it does sort of indicate that potentially could be seeing more of a counter trend move to the downside now for AUD/USD. And as you can see on the daily and weekly time frames, we're very overextended to the upside, and you do like to see some retrace in the market now. As you can see on the weekly chart, or previous resistance there, we broke above it and we didn't have a retest of that same level, kind of just broke above it, closed above it, and just continued to the upside. So now could be seeing some retest of that area from a weekly point of view. And of course, daily, you've had a big move to the upside where you do expect some retrace to be happening in the market. So again, could be seeing a longer move to the downside for this pair. Currently, we are still looking a little bit bullish. You can see we're holding this level here in the market. It's at their support again, and now we've had another push to the upside. So potentially could be seeing AUD/USD coming up to this level here. If you do break through that again, potentially could be coming up all the way back to the highs, or maybe even another new high for AUD/USD. But again, this is a key level here for me. We had a gap in the market, came and retested it when we had this big push back up again, fell back to the downside. So it looks like we could be on our way back to this level here, and if you break through that, potentially could be seeing new highs for AUD/USD. Euro/USD, we're holding the daily previous area of resistance, now turn support. As you can see, we have all these wicks there in the market, multiple wicks there acting as resistance, now turn support. So you can see we had that push to the downside earlier on in the week, big wick trying to break through that level, failed to do so, push back to the upside again, and now we're currently testing that same level, and we had a bullish reaction from that same level. So again, we have a really strong daily support area acting as support, and we've seen price had a nice bullish reaction to that. So potentially could be seeing price coming back to the upside here. We did have a very strong impulsive candle into that level, so potentially this could be a retrace, and price is going to try and go and break through that level. Obviously, I'm not going to probably call that now, because again, we don't really have the price action telling us yet we're going to go and break this level yet, but it is a sign that we are starting to run out of steam to the upside for EUR/USD. There is possible that we maybe work our way back to the highs again, previously up here potentially. As you know, previous daily support could give us the momentum needed to take us back to the highs for EUR/USD potentially, and if we do, that could be the turning point for us and see a longer counter trend move to the downside for this pair. But however, it does look like we're holding this area of daily resistance, now done daily support, and unless we see a daily close below this level, again, we're always holding that. And if we do see a daily close below that level, it could be indicating a longer push to the downside to around the 1.2 level. As you can see here, around 1.2 is here, acting as previous resistance all across there. As you can see, initially there, second there. So if we do see a break of that level, that's where I believe price is probably going to go to, and go and test that potentially, or maybe even break through that and give us a deeper pullback or a deeper counter move. But we are looking a little bit bullish for USD. We are testing the previous daily support, could easily see a push back to the highs there. USD CAD is starting to roll over a little bit. As you can see, we come and test this area here previously, area of daily previous support, now term resistance. As you can see, we've got those two wicks there in the market. So wicked into this area, push back up again, wicked into the area, push back up again, then fell back to the downside. Now we're retesting that same area as resistance. So potentially could see price roll over. We do have a key level here that did act as resistance for us for USD CAD. So kind of trapped between those two levels. I still believe there's a bit more upside potential for USD CAD. We do have this trend line running through the market here, which could be seeing a fourth test off potentially, as you can see in this year test there, second there, third. So we could be seeing a longer pullback into the market, into this region, to get a fourth test and either see price roll back again and create some lower lows, or maybe break through it and go and test the daily 200-moving average. So we do have some upside potential for USD CAD if you want to relieve some of that bearish pressure. However, this morning we are looking a little bit bearish for USD CAD, so potentially could be seeing a move to the downside for this pair into this previous area of support. As you can see, acting as resistance there, now acting as support, which gave us the move back to that level. So I do see USD CAD coming back down to this area potentially, and either holding and seeing a longer move to the upside, where maybe that daily trend line could be hit. But if you do break through that, there is room for us to roll back to the downside and go and test the lows again potentially. But I reckon that's the key level for us to see if USD CAD can hold and give us a bounce to the upside. USD was still holding that previous daily support, now term resistance. As you can see, all this area here, if I go to the daily chart, see a little bit clearer. So again, all of this is previous daily support, now term resistance. You can see we've come to test it a couple of times now. Price is showing signs that we're failing to break above the area, so potentially could be seeing another move back to the downside for USD. As you can see, we've tested it once, twice, now a third time, and every time we've been rejected. So it does look like we're probably going to get another move to the downside for this pair, potentially back to the lows here where we wick down there. As you can see, I've drawn a line where the wick is there, so potentially could be seeing price coming back to the lows here, maybe even another new low if we do see some strong bearish momentum come in. But for me, we definitely need to get above this area of resistance for us to see any longer moves to the upside for that pair. Again, we do have this strong daily trend line keeping us in that downtrend, which again, initial test there, second, third, fourth. Could be seeing a fifth test of this trend line soon, but again, we do need to get above that previous daily resistance there for us to get to that trend line. So again, looks like we're holding, probably going to be seeing a move to the downside for UCJPY, back to the lows potentially, or maybe even further. UCCHF, looks like we're kind of getting a bit of a bull shape for this pair. As you can see, we're kind of just losing steam to the downside. We had this channel, which I believe we did break out of, as you can see there. If I connect the highs and lows of the wicks, again, so we had this channel to the downside, we broke above it, so I retested it, had a strong push to the upside from that same area with that trend line there. As you can see, that had that strong engulfing candle. From then we're kind of just be moving sideways, so it's not too clear if UCCHF really wants to take the upside. We have broken that trend line there, and we're starting to form higher lows in the market. As you can see here, there's our low there, there's our next low there, so potentially could be forming some higher lows, which does indicate that potentially we could be rolling back to the upside. And again, we do have a lot of upside targets for UCCHF, as you can see on the daily time frame. We have previous daily support all along here, which we still haven't really retested. We broke below, saw a strong move to the downside. So again, we're expecting price to come and retest that as a resistance now, or potentially break through it even further. So we do have a lot of upside potential from a daily point of view, which we're expecting UCCHF to go and meet some targets there. Again, from a Friday point of view, we are starting to create some higher lows potentially, so it is showing signs that could be rolling back to the upside there. And if you do get the momentum, we could be coming back all the way to this level around here, which again is quite a few pips away, around over 140 pips. So there's a lot of room to move to the upside for UCCHF potentially. But again, if you do start to break through these levels and roll back over, we could be coming back to the lows there. But for now, we are still looking at a little bit bullish for UCCHF. Let's take a look at ADJPY. Now, ADJPY had a bullish reaction there. We come to test some previous daily resistance, now turn daily support. As you can see, we had this area here as resistance. We kind of wicked into it a couple of days ago on Monday. From there, we've been looking a little bit bullish. We did see price have a bearish candle yesterday, but as you can see, we kind of failed to continue that momentum on. We're kind of looking bullish as the day has started. So again, it looks like the momentum has shifted a bit to the bulls there, but again, we do have another gap in the market here, which is acting as resistance. We did see a strong move into this area, push back up again, acting as resistance. Price fell to the downside, could be retesting it and then falling back to the downside to go and test that daily support area again potentially, but again, it's quite unclear as for the price action for ADJPY. We do have some nice highs up here, potentially could be getting another test of, but again, it's not clear whether price wants to fall back to the downside or rise to the upside for this one. We are looking a little bit bullish, so potentially could be seeing another push to the upside for ADJPY, but I wouldn't be surprised if you did eventually just roll over and go and get another test of this daily support area potentially. So again, won't be looking to take any trades in this pair. But if we do maybe see another push to the upside, get a bit of a triple top potentially, and if we get some strong price action, could look to take that down again, but not really interested in the pair when it's kind of trading in the middle there. Next, we'll take a look at GPUSD. Now, GPUSD is starting to look a little bit bullish again, as you can see. Again, really messy pair as well. Daily, a little bit clearer, as you can see. We had strong support all across here. So again, resistance there, now acting as support. We did see price close below it, but then you can see we kind of gapped up and then remained respecting that area. So around 133, you can see we are respecting that. And you can see we tested it multiple times, and it looks like price has tested it again with yesterday's candle on Tuesday. We're holding it, and potentially could be seeing price continue to the upside. So GPUSD, my bias is probably another push to the upside for this pair, maybe to the around 135 area, which is around here. So potentially that area, as you can see, acting as resistance there. We do have the gap in the market at around that same area as well. So I think GPUSD could be on a little bit of a bull rally to the upside potentially around the worth 135. And if you break through that, potentially could be coming back to the highs again potentially. But again, it's quite hard to work out the price action for GPUSD since we're having so many gaps in the markets and a lot of volatility as well. So you can see on the daily time frame, we got a lot of wicks to either side there. So quite hard to read the pair, but I think we could be getting another push to the upside. We are holding this key level in the market, I think, as resistance and support, so could easily be seeing another push to the highs potentially, but at least 135 I reckon for GPUSD. Next, we'll take a look at NZD/USD. Now, NZD/USD, we found support on the daily time frame again. As you can see, if I highlight the daily support area all along here, see a little bit better on the 4-hourly chart. So again, support. We wicked into it, we found support there as well. So NZD/USD is finding support on the daily time frame, so could potentially be seeing another push to the upside for NZD/USD. Back to the gap in the market, as you can see here, acting as support and resistance there, the gap. So potentially could be seeing price going, testing that area where we capped, and then potentially maybe rolling back to the downside. If you do break above it, I probably think we're going to come and test the highs again for NZD/USD potentially, or maybe even create some new highs if you do have a lot of momentum there. But I do expect NZD/USD to go and find some resistance up here where we had the gap in the market, then either roll over to the downside, go and test that support area again. But for us to have a really counter trend move for this one, I do believe we need to break through that key level on the daily chart, acting as support all along here. So we really do need to break through that for us to really get that drop for NZD/USD. And so far it looks like we're holding. You can see on the 4-hourly chart we've had some bullish momentum to the upside. So I do believe that could continue to where we had that gap in the market potentially, and if it starts to roll over again, probably coming back down to this area here, and again probably NZD/USD is just kind of moving sideways at that point. But if you do break above it, probably back to the highs again, which we can be looking for some more shorting opportunities. As you can see here, we're starting to have deeper pullbacks in the market, which does show losing momentum to the upside, and could be seeing a reversal soon for NZD/USD. As you can see here, when we're moving to the upside, it was quite tight channels, and then we're starting to move a lot of pullbacks in the market now, and a lot of bearish movement as well. So it is showing a sign that we are running out of momentum for NZD/USD, and could easily see a longer swing back to the downside for that pair. Next, we look at GPNZD. Now for GPNZD, we're still kind of stuck underneath that key daily level in the market, as you can see here. Very strong area of daily support, as you can see, gave us that big push to the upside. So again, very strong area of daily support, acting support there again as well. Now we broke below it, now it's going to be acting as resistance. So potentially you could see move to the downside of NZD/USD, but if you do get above it, it could be a sign that we just had a false breakout and could be seeing a longer move to the upside for NZD/USD. For GPNZD, sorry, and potentially see maybe a test of our trend line that we've got going through the market here. So again, we've got initial test there, second there, could be seeing a third test if you do break above that trend, above that resistance, and potentially even further, maybe the 200 moving average on the daily even. But again, we're still having a hard time breaking through that area in the market there. Really strong area of support, now turn resistance on the daily time frame. You can see you have multiple attempts to break through it. But again, it could easily just take one candle for us just to break through this level and look bullish again. So I wouldn't be surprised if you do see a break of this level for GPNTD. But as of yet, we're still showing signs that we are struggling to break through that level. So maybe you could be seeing maybe another push to the downside back to this support area here in the market. As you can see, this is where we gapped up here, and we also gapped down to this area. So again, really key level down here on the hourly chart. Could potentially see another move to this area, and then maybe go and see a break of that daily resistance finally. Or potentially, if you do break through this 4-hourly chart, probably going to be creating some new lows potentially, or go and test the lows down there. But like I said, for GBND, you're still stuck at that daily resistance area, and we're still having quite a hard time trying to break through it. GBJPY kind of a little bit all over the place as well, similar to GPUSD in terms of the price action. Get a lot of wicks to either side. We do have clear areas of resistance and support though. As you can see, resistance along there. Do you have the support along here as well? So you kind of see we're kind of stuck in a range for GBJPY, kind of just moving sideways. Right now we're kind of trading in the middle of that pattern. As you can see, you've got the resistance all up there, support down there. We're kind of just in the middle of that. So again, not really the place you want to be looking to enter trades from a Farley point of view anyway. For GPJPY, you probably want to be entering sell trades up there and buy trades there logically, but here kind of just in the middle of nowhere and kind of just second guessing the market. So for GPJPY, since we had a test here, potentially could be seeing another move back to the upside to go and test the highs potentially, and you can see we kind of just got wicks all over the place right now, so kind of just moving sideways. So it just depends which way you want to break through for GPJPY. Got resistance up there, and we've got support down here which you can't break through. So if you do break through this level, I do believe you can see a price come back to the highs again. But if you do take up this support, probably see move back to the lows again for GPJPY. But again, it's kind of hard to work out which way price wants to break to as of yet. So don't really want to be second guessing that. And if you do break through this resistance up here, we're probably going to be coming back to the highs up there for GPJPY. So if you do make a move to the highs, potentially could be seeing a breakout finally and a move back to the highs. So we do have some upside potential for GPJPY. Next, we're going to look at Euro GBP. Now for this one, again, another messy chart. As you can see, we do have a lot of wicks to the upside though, again showing that we do have a lot of daily resistance above us there. So I'm probably favouring more of a move to the downside for Euro GBP. As you can see, we failed to make some higher highs there in the market. So again, test it once there, rejected, big move to the downside, test it again, rejected again as well. So I do believe for Euro GBP, we'll come back to this level here in the market where we've got the 200-minute average on the Farley chart. Again, acting as resistance there and acting as support all along here. So for Euro GBP, I do believe we'll probably come back to that area. Again, failing to make that higher high, and we'll probably meet you another test of this area. And if you do break through that, we'll probably come back down to the lows all the way down here for Euro GBP, which again is a significant level in the market. As you can see, support all along here, support there, support there, support there as well. So a really key level in the market. And if you do break through that level there on the Farley chart, I do believe we're going to go test that level on the daily as well. But yeah, again, Euro GBP currently looking bearish on the Farley chart, and I do expect that momentum to continue to the downside. Euro JPY, again, still moving sideways for us here. Not really anything significant going on for us for Euro JPY, kind of still stuck in that range. Got the resistance just above us, got the support just below us here as well. Still stuck between these two levels. Again, not sure which way we're going to break out. You don't really know. You can just wait for the price to break. You see, we did have a break there. We thought price was potentially going to move to the upside, but then you can see it was just a false breakout. Next candle just closed right back below and said, no, we're still stuck in this range and price has just been moving sideways. So again, if you do break to the downside, we do have some targets where potentially price could go. Around the 125 level is looking good. As you can see, previous resistance all across here on the daily chart. As you can see, all resistance all across here will be turned support. So if you do break out this range, we'll probably come back to that 125 area potentially. And if you break to the upside, we'll probably be seeing new highs potentially for Euro JPY. As you can see, we had this big impulse move to the upside. Price just moving sideways. Could just be retracing that move and seeing another push to the upside potentially. So again, we do have targets both sides. Not going to try and second guess which way the market's going to go, as again, we're not too sure. But if you break to the downside, the 125 mark is potentially where we're going to go. And if we break to the upside, potentially could be seeing some new highs for EUR/JPY. So currently I'm only in one position at this moment in time in AUD CAD, looking for a swing to the downside here. You can see I'm trying to play this area of resistance here that price is failing to break. We tested it a third time again this morning, and we've been showing signs that price is struggling to break through this area. So again, my stop loss is just above that resistance area. I entered the trade around here yesterday, looking for a nice swing to the downside, looking to target this previous area of daily resistance, now turn daily support. So potentially could be seeing a pullback into this area, as you can see, kind of just shot to the upside from that area, and could be seeing a pullback back to here to go and retest it from a daily point of view. So trying to trade that on the Friday time frame. So far, kind of just moving sideways for this pair. Not any real major movements here. Still looking for that swing to the downside. I'm going to be seeing how it gets on throughout the live stream. If anyone wants me to look at any different charts, any different pairs, any different markets, just put it in the live chat, and I'll make sure I'll give you some analysis on that pair. But like I said, just going to be seeing how some of the pairs get on today, and just watching how my trade gets on as well. Okay, so we're going to take a quick look at Euro USD. Okay, so for Euro USD, I'm going to start with the daily time frame because we're actually testing a daily level on this pair currently. So if you take a look on the daily time frame, we got resistance, previous resistance now turned daily support. So again, we're currently testing that level, and we tried to break it a couple times. Tried to break it on Monday's candle. As you can see, we've got the wick to the downside, and we've come to test it again recently as well, and we're still holding that area. So for Euro USD, we're currently coming from a daily support area, which is a very strong area in the market, and potentially could be seeing another push to the upside potentially. But if you do get a break of this area, potentially could be seeing a longer swing to the downside. If you look at some of the intraday time frames, like the hourly, you can see we had a big impulse move to the downside into that daily level. We so far been retracing back to the upside. So again, this price action here is quite choppy. It does show signs that maybe you could be seeing another push to the downside to get another push back into this level around here. As you can see, price has been testing this level many times here. Initially one there, second, third, fourth. So price keeps testing this level many times. Potentially could be seeing it impulse move to the downside, some retrace and another push to the downside to get and really test this area. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if price broke to the upside, just because we're coming from that daily support, and price could potentially easily bounce from that area and continue to the upside potentially. Some of the smaller time frames, as you can see, we're kind of still trending to the upside a little bit, 15 minutes as well. So again, not too sure if this one could break to either side. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if you do break to the upside because of that daily support. And if you do break to the upside, potentially could be seeing price coming back to this area here where we gapped as well on the 4-hourly chart, and we had some resistance there. And we saw this big bearish candle to the downside on the 4-hourly chart. So if you do break to the upside, I'm potentially seeing price coming back to this area here on the 4-hourly chart. So you can see it there on the hourly, so around there, back to the highs potentially. But if you do break to the downside, I'm probably seeing a test at this level here, where we keep testing on the hourly chart. As you can see initially there, second, third, fourth. So it could be an impulsive move, retrace just to go and test the area. But if you break to the upside, I do believe this could be a target there from an hourly point of view. But again, it's kind of 50-50 for USD, kind of just a little bit moving sideways there, the price action. So it's hard to tell which way we could go. But do have some targets to the other side for Euro USD, and just remember that we're coming from a daily support area, so that might play quite a big factor in which way we could potentially break to. But again, just seems which way we're going to break out to, kind of just moving sideways, a bit of choppy price action now, so hard to tell. But we did see an impulse move to the downside, so potentially could be seeing another push back to the downside to go and test the lows down there. So I hope that analysis helped you with Euro USD there. Yeah, and I'll take a look at CHF-JPY as well. Okay, so for CHF-JPY, looks like we're slowly rolling over to the downside for this pair. As you can see, the weekly chart, we did have two indecision candles there, two dojis, so potentially could be seeing a push to the downside. As you can see, a strong push. Indecision candles sometimes mean that it could be reversing back to the downside, and it looks like that's happening this week potentially. As you can see, we have that strong move to the upside. Looks like we're retracing back down again. We had this strong area in the market that was holding a support for quite a long time. As you can see, support along there gave us a push to the upside, retraced back down. We were holding that area quite nicely, but it does look like we're breaking through that level with the current price action we're getting on the 4-hourly time frame. As you see, kind of just rolled over to the downside. So we are looking bearish for CHF-JPY. Potentially next stop could be around this area here, where we had that bearish candle come into the market. So again, bit of resistance there, but I do believe potentially could go a little bit further maybe. As you can see on the 4-hourly chart, all of this area was previous resistance, so potentially could be coming to that area at least. If you break through that, again, we do have probably a longer move to the downside. We do have this area in the market here acting as resistance here previously, so we'll be acting as support. So if we break through that level there currently that we're testing, or almost testing now, again, we could probably go a lot further to around this level here. Again, resistance there will be acting as support. But I do believe CHF-JPY could be on its way back down now, since it's breaking through this level, as long as this isn't the false breakout. If we are breaking out, I do believe you could be seeing a longer swing to the downside, at least the level just below it there. And if you break through that, probably a lot further to around this area down there in the market. So CGFJY is looking very bearish. I do believe price is probably going to continue. I'll probably see some retrace on the hourly. As you can see, a big drop on the hourly time frame. So naturally, going to expect some retrace in the market, maybe a retest of that area we broke out of. But I do expect price to continue to the downside for that pair. So again, yeah, I hope that analysis helped for CGF JPY. Okay, so it's just gone 12:30, so I'm going to do a quick wrap up of what the market's done since I last spoke at 10 a.m. and also talk you through my current trade as well. So AUSD, not too much has happened. Again, we had that bounce from that support in the 4 hourly time frame. As you can see, support there, support, we had a little bit of a breakout there on Monday. We held there again today. So probably expect price maybe to rally up a little bit more to go and test this area where we had the gap in the market and also some resistance. Then maybe seeing a swing back to the downside, back to the support. And if you finally break through the support, probably coming back to that daily area here. You can see on the daily chart there, all resistance across here will be turn support. So we do have some room to move to the downside for more of a counter trend move, and we need to see this level broken, this support level broken for that to happen. But for more immediate estimation where price could potentially go, maybe another push up, so to go and test that area properly where we had the gap and that resistance, then probably see a swing back to the downside if we do hold that area. Euro USD, not too much has happened since I last spoke. As you can see, kind of just moving up slightly, but moving slightly to the side as well. We can see that got that previous daily support, well, previous daily resistance, now turned support there. So again, resistance for all those wicks, now turned support. Price is bouncing off a little bit from there, not too encouraging price action saying we're holding just yet. As you can see, we did get a reaction from that area, but price just been moving sideways since we've had that test. So potentially if price holds this area, can get another swing back to the upside, maybe back to this area up here where we had the momentum that gave us the move to the downside potentially from our hourly point of view. 4 hourly, again, just holding that area. We did see a strong impulsive candle, so maybe this is just a retrace and then we're going to see price go and break it potentially. Again, we're not too sure yet. Price is showing signs that we are holding this area, and if we do, I'll probably expect maybe price to give us another push to the upside as long as we hold this area. But if you do go and break it, it's a lot of downside potential for Euro USD, at least the lows down here potentially, or maybe even this level here around 1.2 where we have daily resistance, now turn daily support potentially. Again, if you break through that area that we're currently testing right now. So do have a lot of downside potential for Euro USD, but again, not too sure if we're going to break through that level yet or not. USD CAD, big push to the upside. As you can see, we found some resistance in the market, which we're currently holding. We see price reject a couple of times now. Again, we do have this level here, which is acting as support. Previous resistance on the Friday time frame, now acting as support. We tested it once, gave us a push to the upside, now looking bearish again. So potentially could get another test of this area maybe, but again, not too sure of the price action we're getting there on USD CAD. We still do have a lot of upside potential, I believe, but we need to get above this area, which we're rejecting now, and the momentum is building up to the downside there. So probably see another swing to the downside, maybe to this area. Then we'll see price maybe range a little bit and break out to either side. So yeah, no real opportunity for me there. Potentially could trade it down to this area potentially, but again, if you do break through that area, there's a lot of downside potential, I believe, probably coming back to the lows again for USD CAD. But if you do hold, again, probably favouring a swing to the upside and another test of this area. And if you break through that, we can go a lot further. USD still holding that previous daily support in the market, now term resistance. As you can see, we did get a bearish reaction this morning from it. Again, not too much happened since I've been speaking here, kind of just trading the same area. Price maybe give us another push to the upside. As you can see, we do have a little bit of a trend line in this market here. So again, you can see price is probably better than hourly actually. So again, price is probably respecting this trend line. So maybe you get another push into that area of resistance. But so far, it does look like we're holding. If we do get a break, probably see a longer swing to the upside for USDJPY. We've got this bearish trend line. We've got 4 tests off. So maybe you can get our 5th test now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe you can get our 5th test if you get above that level. But so far, we're trading below it, holding. And as long as we hold below that level, probably see another swing to the downside. UCCHF slowly climbing up. Like I said earlier, we're creating some higher lows in this price. As you can see, this is a low there. Then we've got our next low here. And then we've got our next low there as well. So again, it looks like UCCHF could be slowly rolling to the upside here, creating some higher lows and potentially could be seeing another push to the upside. We also broke through our trend line here as well, and the market kind of retested it as well. So we're looking bullish for UCCHF. Like I've been saying, we do have a lot of upside potential for this pair. You can see in the daily time frame I've been talking about this level across here acting as daily support. We'll be turning some daily resistance now, so it could be expecting a test of that area as price retraces the bearish move that we've had recently. So upside targets for UCCHF around this area here potentially, and it looks like on the 4 hourly time frame we're slowly building our way up. So expect that to continue for USDCHF. We do have a little bit of resistance above us along here. As you can see, we did wick into that area previously, which gave us that push to the upside in that wick for UCHF in the hourly chart. So again, a bit of a barrier here, but we are creating those higher lows. If that continues, you could easily see the market roll over and give us a long swing to the upside. Currently, I'm only in AUD CAD short position, as you can see, still holding that resistance there that I'm looking to sell from, so you can get a longer swing to the downside. My stop loss is just above that area. As long as price fails to break through that resistance, I will still remain in the trade and see if you can get a nice swing to the downside. And not too much happened. We did get a push back into the area again during the live stream, as you can see, big push to the upside, but it looks like we're rolling back over again. Not too much has happened. Still showing signs that we're holding that resistance and still looking for a swing to the downside. So I'll probably still be in this trade again tomorrow during the live stream. I'll probably be talking about it as well, as long as we don't break that resistance, obviously, and hit my stop loss. But so far, just retesting that area of resistance, and we'll see if we can get a swing to the downside for AUD CAD. But like I said, that's the end of the live stream. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you find this useful, and also leave a like in the video as well. But like I said, end of the video, I hope you all enjoyed it, and until the next one, I will see you later.